I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, have me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands.
This is how it always be before the show, David. Normally, we get in here earlier and then we're usually talking about everything
There's no reason to
before.
pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck. Country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Epic Podcast. We are in the house again with familiar and one unfamiliar face. Familiar to us, maybe not to y'all, but we got my man Ike, Jared, and then we got David Lewis, Jared's brothers, in here with us today, man, representing. He reached out and said, "Look, man, I got something to say. I wanna be the fourth." So I was like, "All right, man, we're gonna get in here, man, and see what you're talking about." But how was y'all weekend, man? How'd y'all sports weekend? Let's start with you. Let's start with David, man. How was your sports weekend, man?
I mean, it's boring. I mean, it's really actually tell you the truth, it's actually been relaxing. Um, in the couple last 2 years, the Bengals have been. We've made the Super Bowl playoffs, but when your team is not in it, you mad. But then at the end of the day, you can live another day. You can breathe. You could just sit back and just watch, a team lose or win, and now you are sitting there thinking like, well, dang, man, I wish that was us. But
Right.
you get the fact that you can just get up on Sunday, and just sit back and just watch
some ball and not really
just
be
watch some
over
ball,
invested.
man.
Yeah, that makes
Exactly.
sense.
Exactly.
What about you, Jared? I guess you pretty much in the same boat, huh?
Same, bro. It's been same. He took the words right out of my mouth. Like, pause. Chilling. Like, nigga can just wake up, watch the games. Like, and then I mean, it helps that I don't have anybody in it that I'm like rooting against. Well, I'm not that type of guy, so it ain't too many teams that I'm rooting against. Obviously, I rooted against Michigan because their fans are crazy. Like, they act like football's only been alive 3 years. Like, they're going nuts. So I was hoping that they lost. But I don't
You
really.
see a lot of Michigan gear too.
Man, it's just random.
Bro.
Like, I was watching the Dallas
People you
Mavericks
never
game
knew was
last night.
Michigan fans now all of a sudden just popping out with all this
They
blue.
just
Like, I
out,
never knew.
bro.
They bringing them hats back out from 1997, man. So they had to wear them.
Man, I was watching the Mavericks and the Celtics last night. Game was in Dallas. Dude just sitting baseline with a Michigan hat on. Like, really?
What about you, Ike? Man, you the only one got anything going on really?
Right?
Be keen in on
49ers.
Look, man, we won. Like, what else am I supposed to say? We'll get into this a little bit later. I mean, I'm also an avid gambler, so I always got something going, even when I ain't got something going. I got stuff going on tonight, but look, I'm gonna take any dub that we can get, especially at this point in the season, and then we gonna keep moving.
Okay. All right. Well, shoot, let's jump into it then. Ike got to bounce for a minute, so we're gonna switch over to us three real quick, man, and we're gonna. First thing is first, man. We gotta talk about the Bucks. This just recently happened. Getting rid of their coach for some odd reason. They were second in the East. They on 43 games. They're 30-13. From what I read, I dived a little bit more into it. They said defensive woes with them going from being like top 5 in the league in defense last year to like being bottom 20. So I don't know. Plus, they said they're eyeing
Doc Rivers.
Doc Rivers, yes. So I'm like, was it a setup or is just using this as an excuse because they want Doc Rivers?
I personally think something happened. I think he said something behind closed doors. Because, bro, you don't fire no coach that's 30-13. I don't care what.
Regardless of how bad your defense is,
regardless,
we winning.
You don't do that. And then you got to figure. I think 4 of those losses come to the Pacers.
Yeah.
So, like, if you split, say they win 2 of those games that they lost, they're what, 32-11.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man, you don't. Something had to happen. He either like had to go off on somebody, and shout out to them for not letting that information out. But nah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this wasn't. There's no way that this is performance based. Like you said, I don't care how bad the defense is. There's no way you fire a coach. That's like firing a coach that's like 12-3 in the NFL. You don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
kind
Something
of found the
happened.
news. Yeah, I found the news when I was at the gym, and I looked. I had to double look at it, like, huh?
Yeah,
But
I'm
yeah,
not.
I agree with Jared. I think something happened. I mean, it looked like he the type of coach that don't take no junk either. He don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So something, either, um, he wanted something different, or maybe trade. The trade deadline is coming up. He
mm-hmm.
thought he wanted maybe a player that he didn't want anymore. He wanted to change something up. Something, yeah, something definitely might
It,
have had
it's
him behind the scenes.
it sounds like it was like a, you know what I'm saying, they having a conversation. Fuck you, nah, fuck you.
Yeah,
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what it sounds like
yeah.
happened. Like I
yeah,
wouldn't even put it
And
past.
to do the move, like you said, right before the trade deadline, All
Yeah,
Star break,
like,
like it gives you
yeah.
time to like while that break is going on to kind of find somebody else, or
man, please take
Mm.
Doc Rivers. I'm so tired of hearing him on the games. Like, please
I
take
seen
him.
that on Instagram. You say, man, I'm tired of hearing
Oh,
this
take
dude
him.
talk.
And that's just like Tennessee Titans getting our offensive coordinator. Please take him.
Yeah, yeah.
Please take him.
That was kind of odd too. I mean, but when you got
Random.
Shanahan
I don't know what they
yeah,
saw
I'm
in
like
that.
when you got Bill Belichick, you got Pete Carroll, you got all these
Cheap. He
names.
probably ain't cost, he probably ain't cost nothing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
They
but I
building
mean,
that stadium.
We'll
They
see.
probably was just like, yeah, let's just go ahead and get a Dumbo in here real quick because they
yeah, that
they
was kind of weird.
they
Yeah,
certainly have a Dumbo.
yeah.
So they probably was just like, let me just get an idiot, just somebody cheap in
Hmm.
here these next couple years. But nah, bro, they can
Yeah,
have
this
it.
yes,
I was
yeah,
praying that
this
he get that job.
firing. But Doc Rivers though, like he hasn't won since the Celtics. I mean, championship. I mean, he's teams are always been in contention, but never over the hump. And to already have a Milwaukee team who's won, in the past 5 years, like you bring Doc in to do what? I mean, yeah, he may help you defensively, but he's not. He hasn't been that coach that's really got teams over the hump.
Yeah.
So
I'm still over the Budenholzer fire.
That was crazy too. Yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
that right there, that
they never should have
um,
fired Buddy.
that never should have fired him. I mean, that one, and then Toronto's coach.
Yep, Nick Nurse.
That's just, yeah,
yeah,
Nick Nurse, just weird. You know what I mean? So obviously they see something we don't see. So,
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
agree.
but
I'm rolling. I'm rolling with because I feel like yeah, Doc Rivers ain't really won a whole lot per se, but I feel like I don't know. I would love for him to have coached like the Lakers, just because I feel
Yeah,
like
he's a solid coach. He's
yeah,
very good with stars and things of that
yeah,
nature.
he
Like
can get the
he can
stars what they need to finish the job. Like, I feel like I mean
absolutely.
that's
yeah,
subjective though, but
yeah,
I mean I would be cool with the hire, but like something definitely had to happen for them to get Buddy out of there like that. I mean there wasn't no rumors, there was no
Yeah.
speculation. I just looked at my phone. I'm just
Which
like
is rare. Like rarely, like usually you
well,
hear
yeah.
something,
And then
but
ESPN be showing like they be posting. It'll just be like the picture of him. And it'll just say breaking news. I thought he died or something. I'm like, damn.
yeah,
I had to I had to read the caption and see that he was fired. I'm like,
yeah,
what?
yeah,
I thought
yeah. I had
something
to
happened.
dive into it a little more. I was like, man, there got to be something
yeah,
in there. But only thing I found was defensive. Like that's the only thing that they were mentioning was they was talking about the defense. And then I heard them talking about Iron Doc Rivers. So I was like, well, this is all the information I got, so I'm just gonna put it out there. So, but
Yeah,
yeah.
that's nuts.
mm.
Shout
So
out to
moving, you said shout out to who?
shout out to him. Like he said,
Yeah. I
hopefully
mean,
he's on his feet.
yeah, yeah. I mean, somebody pick him up. I mean, being 30-13, but with that roster, I mean, that's not
Yeah,
crazy
true,
either. So
true. And then he like I don't think they're really getting maximum out of Dame either.
no,
So I don't know. I feel like it was a disagreement between him and the
maybe
front office.
philosophies. Yeah,
And he might have quit like because it didn't really.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Could have been a parting ways.
Yeah,
That's how they say when a coach and a team agree to,
yeah,
they usually parting ways. But moving on, man. Miami, man. A couple days ago, retires Haslam's jersey after 20 years with the team. This was another one.
Whew.
If you look at other players that they've retired, of course, D Wade, Tim Hardaway, Shaq, Alonzo Mourning, like, and then you have Haslam. Eventually, they say they're going to retire a LeBron James jersey also, but you look at Haslam and it's like he doesn't have the stats, the accolades, or any of that. He's the longest tenured Heat. Only thing I could really find on this is like everybody in the building loves him as far as what he does as a leader, community wise. He's from there. Um, like everybody says he's the glue. Like when those championship runs, being in the finals, like he was the one that kind of kept them in it. From a mental and mentor standpoint, but I guess to them that's enough for his name to be in the rafters when he had a that type of an impact. Maybe not on the court, but like off the court impact. So
Yeah, apparently, man. Y'all know who I am. I'm a numbers guy, and I thought that retiring jerseys was based on athletic performance. I never thought I'd see the day where somebody had a retired jersey but wasn't in the Hall of Fame, unless like something tragic happened. You know what I'm saying?
that's
Like
true.
a career cut too short. Because I almost think
Yeah,
that's kind of what boosted Bosch up in there. Because his
yeah.
career, if you remember, his career ended kind of soon. So
Hmm.
I feel like that would
But
have
I
better
mean, for
retire
like
his.
what he did, I mean, he was a
I
part of two championship teams, like key parts. Like
Who we
it wasn't
talking
like he
about?
was
Talking Haslam.
saw Chris Bosh. Chris
Bosch.
Bosh.
Oh, okay,
It
yeah.
was, he wasn't a bum. I mean, like I mean, Bosch had decent numbers too. Like I mean,
I'm
he's been
I'm
an All Star,
cool.
he's been All NBA. So
I think Bosch is in the Hall of Fame or he's headed there.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
he's headed there. I think.
that
I
fit
think.
that
Yeah.
Yeah,
fits my narrative, but
yeah.
the
No, you're
Haslam
right.
thing, I'm just like,
Well, I feel like they got painted into a corner. I mean, he's been there 20 years. I mean, here's the thing: if they would have got rid of him earlier, which he should have been got rid of 10 years ago,
man,
then
bro,
his jersey wouldn't have been in the Hall of Fame. But since they kept him so long, he was the cheerleader of the team. Like I said, he's got 15,000 claps.
that's
You
crazy.
know what I mean?
Cheerleader of the team is nasty work. That's
So I mean, but that's the reason why I think I mean, it's Pat Riley pretty much had to, or the team. They pretty much had to. You know,
And
if they
he's
would have
about
got
to
with
they're
him.
about to make him vice president of player development too.
mm-hmm.
So
Okay,
like I said,
yeah.
it's something he has. I think we got Ike back with us. There's something with the team that I mean, it had to be an impact enough for them to be like, yeah, he needs to be remembered in some form or fashion. So
Again, it was the longevity. I mean, like I said, they kept him 20 years.
yeah,
If they would have got rid of him, which they, like I said, which they should have. You know, he wasn't competing. I
Producing
mean, he just
anything,
yeah,
bro.
nothing,
yeah.
He was giving nothing on the
nothing.
basketball court. Can't really speak to what he was doing behind the scenes or the
Uh,
glue to the team or all that.
I
On
was
the
gonna say I have the like I got
court, he was giving nothing.
the what you call it pulled up the whole
his
what
stats.
everybody said. Yeah, not his stats.
Uh,
I mean, I already know
uh,
his stats is, but just what the team and everybody was saying about him, and why. That's what I'm saying. Like everything was just like with him being from Miami, with him, everything he did behind the scenes. That's what I
And
got
that's
out of
all
it.
cool. I just didn't know that was the criteria to have a jersey retired.
I mean, it's
but
up to
the
the team
Maybe
though.
maybe a
it's up to
plaque inside the
it's up
arena, like
right.
rename the score, like or
It's up to the team. It's up to the team. But then
Hmm.
I feel like it puts the NBA or a lot of other teams in a bad position because it's then like, oh well, shit. If I can, play 20 years and ain't and don't do crap, then maybe I can get my jersey retired.
That's
Then
that's what I was telling him, my boy
you
Adrian. Shout
know.
out to him. I respectfully disagree podcast. Shout out to him. We were talking about that earlier in the week, and I was just like, man, I'm like, well, if they give him a retired jersey for just longevity, then what about the janitors? What about the ticket
Oh
people
my
that's been there
gosh.
20, 30 years? Like, I mean, if we doing it based on longevity, they need to be
Yeah.
recognized too. I mean, you could have named the practice court like Udonis Haslem court. Like you could have gave him a plaque. You could have put something inside the arena. You could have named the arena floor Udonis Haslem court. You could
Yeah.
have did something. I just feel like a retired jersey should be only for first ballot Hall of Famers that contributed something to the game of basketball. Nothing more, nothing less.
Right. I agree.
Like, what do you think about Miami retiring Udonis Haslem's jersey after 20 years with the team?
I mean, I'm not mad at it. First off, the Hall of Fame is the basketball Hall of Fame. It's not the NBA Hall of Fame. and this is completely up to the team.
Yeah,
Right?
that proves my point even more.
This
Like,
has nothing to do with. I mean, like you said, Jerry, we don't know what he did or what his impact was on that team or that city
give him a plaque. Shit.
outside of numbers. I mean, what
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Give him a key to the city. Like,
What different? Like you're not opening Pandora's box. I don't think by and other teams are gonna be like, oh well, I need to give so and so who was a 14th man. Like there's not very many people who are going to make 20 years in the league.
true.
Like so
And you got to
that's
think
not.
those are the guys that made the decision to keep him 20 years. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah,
there was a
players have
reason
to
why
feel
they
that.
kept
That's
him
true.
20 years. It had to be
Like
something for
he
them,
had
some of
some kind of
value.
value
Yeah.
somewhere that we can't see, and we only see things in numbers. And I mean, I say this all the time: numbers ain't everything. Like
I
stats can
get
lie
that,
too.
but
Numbers are lies too. Numbers can be
how
misleading,
many how
and
many
there are
other
other things that
people
could be impactful.
how many other people have been contributing behind the scenes and stuff we don't know about? Like, where they retired jerseys at?
I mean,
Well,
again, but
first off,
that's up to a team.
your janitors and stuff don't have jerseys to retire. So I mean,
I mean, they can
that's the
put
first
their
thing we
names
have to
up in
know.
the rafters or something. I mean, they got people's
Buddy's
names
Buddy's
retired. They
mop
didn't
is
play for them
probably
twice.
bronze somewhere. Like we don't know that he ain't got a bronze mop somewhere with his name on it.
Bronze mop is
Like you know what I'm
crazy.
saying? Like
A bronze mop
there's
is
something
that's fun.
somewhere for that gentleman there, but
Bronze mop.
it,
I
That's
mean, like what Isaac said though, you're right. I mean, it's not an NBA decision; it's a team decision. I mean, it could be the same thing working for a company. You get salesman of the month or employee of the month, but the other job might think you worth that. I
Yeah.
mean, so
and a lot of jobs are going to give
it
you something. Like I mean,
yeah,
where I work
it's
at
just
every 5 years they send you something
but
for
Dave,
looking
but
at a
yeah.
Dave,
5 year
Dave, you know you ain't getting
mark.
no employee of the month, and you ain't selling no cars though. So
Well, that's true.
you know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
Like
Yeah, that's true.
that's like if they retire desk or something, they gonna be retiring a lot of desk if they retiring desk to people who ain't selling no cars. So like
Yeah.
that's how I'm looking at it. But
Yeah.
I don't think I'm mad. I'm a little bit more
I mean,
confused.
he's the franchise all-time rebound leader. I don't know. That's about all I
Maybe
got out of this. I mean, everybody from Gordon Dragic said, hey, he deserves it. To Pat Riley. I mean, everybody in the organization that I'm looking at on here, like, is saying, hey, like they donating 3 seats in the arena to his late father, mother, and stepmother. Like everybody, Bam Bio saying, hey, he was the glue. Like it ain't about the stats. He's super important.
say that again.
Orlando's coach Jamal Mosley is saying he wish he could have been there. Toughness and what he means to the league, like the Heat culture, like just everything. That's all on everything in his Spotra. Everybody saying like nobody, just the highest praises from this article. So
Well,
People
I kind of
definitely
feel
fuck with him though. That's not that
yeah.
ain't in question at
I
all.
kind of I kind of feel like if he didn't, he was probably gonna beat somebody up. You know how Haslam
hey, he better not catch Paul Pierce walking.
is.
I know that it's gonna be a
Man,
situation.
he probably bullied him into, hey man, y'all gonna retire my jersey.
I mean,
Hey, probably nah.
I
He ain't
don't
gonna
know if he
do
got it
that.
like that.
Yeah, they loved him way too much. I don't think he had to do
No, I
that.
don't think it was
He
on
is
that level.
thug though. He's a
Then he
game.
went to
Yeah,
Florida. He went to Florida. They love him in Florida. So I
yeah,
mean,
and that's what I'm saying. He from Miami, like
yeah.
so.
So that there you go. Anybody name a street back. See, that's what I'm saying. Name a street back after him or something. Or
Yeah,
yeah,
plenty of ways to. I just thought retiring
a
jerseys for some
retired jersey.
basketball.
I mean, I feel bad if I was if I'm the one even Alonzo Moore, like, man, so your jersey is next to my jersey. What have you done, bro? Wow. Okay. That's the Miami Heat. That's
But
what they
then I
want to
mean,
If
do.
I'm
sometimes
if
like
I'm
if you
Mario
look,
Chalmers, I'm like, hold on.
but if you
I
look at
wish you
some,
would have a problem if you was Mario Chalmers.
Shane Battier, I'm
if you
like,
look
wait
at
a
some
minute.
teams though, like some teams put like executives in there, some teams put GM, some teams put coaches in there. Like in a lot of arenas, there's a lot of random people in the Raptors that has no stats.
You right. You right.
So I mean,
Let that man get
like
his
I said,
jersey.
when it's up to the team, is really whatever the team's value they place on you and your contribution. It could be on and off the court, like you said. Who know? He could have been recruiting players, and you know what I mean, and
And that's very true.
whatever. So
It is
um,
what it is.
moving right along, man. We're gonna jump into the grown man's league, NFL, and Let's start with Jim Harbaugh going to the Chargers. Not confirmed, but he does have a second interview. I know we've been talking about this for a minute, ever since the Chargers coach got fired, probably months ago, and Jim
Long
Harbaugh,
overdue.
right, and Jim Harbaugh possibly leaving Michigan. We've been saying that this has probably been the fit. Um, but I also heard Pete Carroll is in the running too, and he's got an interview also with them. So, how do those resumes stack up? I guess that's my question to y'all.
Be careful, old man. Move,
Yeah.
man. Just like I was talking to somebody, I can't remember who it was, and we were both agreeing, like, man, these old guys just gotta go ahead and step. Get like, bro, you old. Just
Gracefully bow out.
yeah, like you in your 70s, bro. Belichick too is just like Popovich is another one. Like, man, it's past your time.
It's
Just sit down,
time.
bro.
It's time.
Just sit down. Like you're great. Everybody appreciates what you've done. Like you killed. You got championships. You've done everything. Just bro, it's your time. It's time. Oh, he about to get a tech. That's crazy. Oh, he just threw him out. My bad. Rick Carlisle just got thrown out of the game. That's crazy. Yeah, like man, these old guys got to chill. Like it's just move. Just that's my opinion. Just move around. But
What you think, Ike?
First, this feels real like Pete Carroll when he left USC to go to the league. Like, yeah, I did some shit I wasn't supposed to do. I'm gonna go ahead and get on up out of here, real quick.
yeah,
Because I mean, other than that, I don't really see a reason for him. He's a made man in Michigan at this point. You played there, you brought him a championship, you beat Ohio State with 3 times straight. So
three. Don't add another one, bro. We man,
I,
they
I
already
corrected
talking about
myself.
us like we got you,
I
bro.
corrected
Like,
myself.
bro.
Uh,
No pun intended.
well, that's a whole different thing. I used
Shoot straight.
never mind. I ain't gonna talk about my alma mater.
I didn't mean that.
No. I'm playing, but it feels like I know I got away with something, and
Yeah.
instead
Yeah.
of like being
Yeah.
under the heat,
Yeah.
let me go ahead and get up out of here
Yeah, I can see that.
and go ahead and jump over to this other league because to me it doesn't. He can make the same amount of money really if he wants to at Michigan. He can get a lifetime contract at this point at Michigan and never have to leave. So why
Ever.
leave unless you think you did some shit?
Right.
And you
Yeah,
got away
Because
with it.
ultimately, no matter
I mean,
who did it, like it always falls back on the coach. It's so hard to keep it from falling back on the coach, and that's
he
the
hired a
one
nigga
public guy that everybody knows that they can point a finger at and say, "All right, that's who we have to discipline." Because if you discipline some AD or something, like nobody cares, nobody knows. You know what I mean? It's like whatever.
right.
It has to be the coach has to stand out in front and take the discipline,
I
regardless
mean,
of
really,
who's at
they could
fault.
really just vacate the wins and the whole football program suffers. They can do that. So
Yeah, but
whether he's there or not, like they could just be
yeah.
like,
I mean,
hey,
they may still get punished for it, but do we? I mean, does the Chargers fit? Do you think he's a good fit there? Like just knowing how he coaches, and like I said, this will be more towards you just because he was with the Niners. Do you think that fits there, or
I think he has everything that he needs. Like he definitely is coming into this situation, which was a much better situation than the Niners when he first took us over. So he has at least he has the pieces of the defense in place. I mean, you have a quarterback. He is heavy on the running game, so he has a couple of running backs there, and Eckler and is it Justin Kelly. So is it a good fit? Yes, I think culture issue would likely be what I would think it was the last couple of years with the previous coach. So, and I mean, he definitely gets buy-in everywhere he's been. When he was with the Niners, huge buy-in. With the Michigan guy, huge buy-in. So I don't see there being an issue from him getting buy-in from the players in San Diego. So I mean, it to me was one of the best jobs out. The only other job I would say that might have been better is if McCarthy got fired, then that would have been a better
in
gig to
Dallas?
take.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
I don't see
Yeah.
nothing else
I
being
like
better than
Dallas
that right
better.
now.
But I don't see Harbaugh being a Jerry Jones guy. I just don't see
No.
that. That
No, I'm
wouldn't.
just talking about from
No.
the team.
No,
The
I mean,
team
yeah, the
talent.
team from aspect, but when you talk about Dallas, you gotta start at the top. Unfortunately, like,
Yeah.
what about you, David? Man, you think this is a good fit?
It's up in the air. I mean, I mean, the Chargers got the pieces, it just, it's up in the air. The NFL is
Yeah,
it's so tough,
wishy
man.
washy.
It's just so tough. I mean, he can get in there and tank, or it's always either you get in there and be like, yeah, kind of figured this was gonna happen. Now I make the playoffs or whatever, or you like, wow, damn, I didn't know they were going. Man, you know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
shoot, they didn't make the playoffs, man. They in the NFC Championship. What? So it just you just gotta see. It's a toss up.
It's all
Um,
about how stuff like shake out too. Like they
yeah,
could just get an easy schedule, and I mean,
yeah,
it's too many factors that go into it. Do I think he can do it? Yeah, because he's proven that he was nice with the 49ers. I mean, he had
yeah.
them, where they
He
needed to
can
be. So
he can get in there. He can get in there, and him and Herbert might not get along, or
yeah,
they might not see eye to eye. Now Herbert's gone. Now they looking for another quarterback, or it's a toss up to me. My
Yeah,
opinion.
and I think also with that being said, like I think Harbaugh is one of them guys that his accolades and what he's done speak for itself. So you're gonna instantly come into a locker room where guys respect you. I feel like, and I don't think that's how it was with the last coach. I think that he lost the locker room a year ago.
Oh yeah.
Um, and you're in the division with the Chiefs, so
Hmm.
like that's the standard. You know what I mean? So
that's tough.
the
I didn't even
and
think
the
about
and the Broncos
that.
coming
Mhm.
along, you know what I mean? They started playing real good towards the end of the season. Like,
Yeah.
who knows what the Raiders are going to be? With them getting a coach, and they were playing good towards the end of the season too. So like, that may again, be one of the toughest divisions in football again if the Chargers get back on track, because all the other teams seem to be possibly trending up with possibly really good draft picks coming in. Um,
Mhm.
so I mean, I see him coming in and like you said, if he get the buy-in, they got one of the best rosters in that division. They can easily compete with the Chiefs. I feel like, so
And I mean,
Y'all
from
both of y'all know that I've been calling that for what 2 years now.
man,
yeah, yeah.
I
And
got off that train.
yeah,
I told you at the beginning to say I got off that train this year. I am not on the Chargers train.
man. And I say that watching we start this up before the next football season. Yeah, I think the Chargers is going to be at.
Why?
I'm gonna
Yep.
say
It's
I'm
so
not though,
hard,
but
bro.
watch.
You
It's
look at that
hard to
roster,
look at
you
that
like,
roster
why?
and just right, exactly. It's so hard to just be like, nah, man, I can't ride with the Chargers. It's just like
But
y'all should be competing.
For
I will
sure.
say this for Harbaugh, he's done more with less. Like,
That's true.
even if Herbert's gone, like, what great quarterback has Harbaugh ever had?
That's true.
He
That's
Mhm.
didn't
true
have
because he went
none at
from
Michigan. He had
yeah,
Alex Smith, and
yeah.
then I mean, he made a decision to replace Alex Smith with Kaepernick. But
Yep.
no, nobody considered Kaepernick a great QB. He was very well in the system that we ran, but Harbaugh is
Yeah.
very well adjusted and is going to tailor his offense towards his
Towards what
best
he
player.
has. Right.
Except for the last year he was with San Francisco when he tried to make Kaepernick throw the ball a little bit more than he should have. But look, everybody has a flaw here and there.
Right. Nah, that's cool. All right, man. Let's talk about this Brock Purdy slander. Is it warranted? I don't. You know what? I'm gonna start with you, David. What do you think about Brock Purdy? Because I know Ike's gonna say what he got to say. I'm gonna save Ike for last. Matter of fact, no. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start with this. So, I actually looked up. So I got some notes on Brock Purdy. I don't like the fact that he's getting slandered. I mean, his second year, went to back-to-back NFC championships, including the playoffs. The Niners are 20-9 when he plays. They're averaging 29.2 points, top 5 in the NFL. They're 17-3 and average 30 points a game when him, Debo, and Trent Williams all play.
Facts.
One of those losses came in the NFC game when he got knocked out in the first quarter. This year, he's led the NFL in yards per attempt, yards per completion, first down per attempt, passer rating, total EPA, success rate. He led in QBR. He led in passes versus QBR versus man, QBR versus
Well,
the blitz, QBR when not blitz, QBR when pressured,
preach,
QBR when
brother.
not pressured, in the pocket, in the red zone, in the fourth quarter, and on third downs. And in the game, in the playoff game where he needed to win, on his last drive, he passed or rushed for 58 out of the 69 total yards and went
Go
six
what?
for
Four,
seven.
4 for 6 for 7. Yep,
Like,
that's beast mode to
and,
me.
and one of
what
those was a drop.
exactly? Like, what? Like, I don't know what else this man has to do to not be slandered
I
by
think
the football community.
I
Like,
think I think the problem I think what because like what you said it's true, but I think my it's one of those things where he's not sexy like pause on this. His game is not.
I get what you saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I
His game
understand.
is not. It ain't as pretty as Mahomes.
I
So,
get
but
it.
he gets the job done though.
If he
You know what I'm
was the number
saying?
3 pick overall, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Exactly, I agree with that. I agree with
It's
that.
only because he was one of their last pick in the draft. They didn't expect him to do this. So now they're saying, oh,
Facts.
because you was the last pick in the draft, you wasn't good enough to be
Oh, it's because
a
of your
first round
team.
pick. Now you're only doing this because you're in this system and you have these
Yeah.
players or whatever.
Yeah, it's like how many
Everybody,
teams have had good teams that won the Super Bowl? Like,
how many
Yeah.
players look at a Justin Herbert, for example, a player
true.
with a great team. We can
Mhm.
say they're almost great. They have players at every level that's top 10 probably. And look what he does.
I mean, Dak Prescott. Yeah, I mean,
Same
him.
thing. There's a lot of QBs in the league that have better teams that perform way
Yeah.
worse. This
Yeah.
man has, when he's on the field and he finishes a game, the chances of them winning is very high. They're in the 90 percentile.
And
I'll
then
take that over anybody.
what is he like 23-5 as a starter or something crazy? Because he didn't
Hmm.
Bro,
lose it. He didn't lose it all last year, did he?
bro, they're 20 and bro, including the playoffs,
No,
they're
he won
20
his
and
first 7 last year. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they've only lost 3 games where,
He started and finished.
bro,
I I, I think this all kind of started with the Cam Newton comment where he was naming off the game changers, and then people want to say, even Cam was saying this. Well, game changer is not a bad. It's not a derog. Nah,
game
yeah,
manager, yeah.
it's a backhanded compliment. Like if somebody was to tell me, "Oh, I'm just a you ain't an excellent husband and dad. You just kind of like a
You're a
sister.
house manager.
Yeah, you just a family manager type. That's a backhanded slap, right? So for this guy
Yeah.
to come out, had a franchise lead in passing yards in the season, and you calling him a game manager, like you can say that it don't mean nothing derogatory or it's not a slight. You can say that, but clearly you're saying that there's something between him and these game changers, and that's crazy. Like there's been a
And
lot of teams that's had good teams, and won. Like, and you can't just take that away from the quarterback just because he has a good team. Like, still got to
And
make
I
the
and I feel like that's what they did. Like everything around him and where he was drafted at is like, oh, if it was nobody else could have done that. And it's like,
yeah.
I
You right. That
just,
was a good point.
I just don't see it. I just don't
Like
see why this
like
man
CJ
don't.
Stroud.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Like you just look at
no
these guys and it's like they're playing the hardest position in sports,
facts.
and he's playing it at top 5 level.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
you in any way you want to compare him to anybody else in the league over these past 2 years, he is right there with them in every
I agree.
category.
And then your guy said, "What happened against the Ravens, bro? He lost. Like Joe Burrow lost to the Ravens too. Like, does that mean that he's a game manager? Like they lost. Like what? Just because he lost a game doesn't mean he's any less than. Like they finished 12-5.
And,
Probably would
and
And
have
that's
he,
it.
been
he's won way more than
13-4 if
he's
he
lost.
played the last game. Yeah, I'm totally thrown off by it. Like shout out to Cam Newton. I usually mess with a lot of his takes, but I think that's what kind of started this. And like I don't know if y'all noticed. That's why I don't really watch too much of like First Take and Pardon Interrupt or Pardon whatever the Fox show is.
Yeah.
Like I feel like guys
Undisputed.
like Shannon and Stephen A. They be helping push this narrative. Now I listen to their podcasts, but I don't watch them on air. Like because a
Well,
podcast,
and but a lot of that,
You get
that
a
is
little
all
more. You get a
entertainment.
little more honesty out of the
yeah,
podcast and a
but
lot
Yeah.
more.
they
Yeah.
be pushing these like I know we talked about this last week with the whole Dallas Cowboy thing. Dave, let me ask you: do you know a bunch of obnoxious Cowboys fans?
Um, Well, my barber is a Cowboy fan. I won't say he's obnoxious, but I mean, you got to understand they love their team, man.
Yeah, they're
They're
fans, just like
loyal.
anybody
They're
else is.
fans. They're loyal to their team. I mean, do they say we gonna win it every year? I mean, hey, if you got, I mean, they've had the talent. It's just Now I'm be
And they
honest with
don't
you.
have and they don't have to say it. Their owner will
Yeah,
I
true.
mean, at the end of the
every year.
day, it's I mean, they're a $9 billion team. Um,
Y'all trying to go
I
in on
mean, I mean, the Bengals can win 10 Super Bowls and we wouldn't have the merchandise
it? Mm-mm.
like the Cowboys. But I always say it's Dak. I'm sorry, it's Dak. I mean, he's Andy Dalton 2.0, man. It's just,
Ooh, ooh,
Mm.
you
ooh,
know.
ooh.
That's a big thing right
But it
That's
falls
tough.
it
That's
falls under
tough.
that. I mean, it falls under that same category. Like we was kind of talking about with Jim Harbaugh. Like your coach and your quarterback is always going to take the heat in the NFL. That's it. It
Mhm.
begins and ends with your coach and your quarterback. You're not going to blame GMs. You're not going to blame owners. You're not going to blame nobody on the defense, regardless of how the game shake out. It comes down to your quarterback and your coach. And when we're talking about Brock Purdy and you're talking about Shanahan, you looking at them two together, them two have been unstoppable. And I don't care what the system is. I don't care how they play. If he has
I
to
don't
throw
care
it
what he
40
said.
times, he's won. If they've had to run it 40 times, he's won. If he had to push the ball down the field, they've won. If he had to dump it off short and throw swing passes, they've won. Like they've won football games any which way you can look over these past 2 years. And I give him nothing but the utmost respect. Um, like I said, because everybody can't come in and play the QB position. There's been number one picks who ain't made it. There's been, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like in every
The
round, there's been
Niners couldn't
So
QBs
play,
that
boy.
done
let me
came
ask
out that
y'all,
ain't been
My
able to do what
Niners
he had done.
couldn't.
let me ask y'all this though, y'all. Do y'all really think that Prescott is should be still be the quarterback for the Dallas
Who?
Cowboys?
Dak
Dak?
Prescott.
Dak.
Man,
Yeah,
I don't
who
know
else
what
do you
their
get?
problem is, bro. I
Who else
can't
do you get?
follow. That's their
Who do you get to replace him though? Because you get rid of him. Like we said, this is the hardest position in sports. You get rid of him. You can't just get rid of somebody. And say, okay, cool. We're not getting to where we want to with him. We're gonna get rid of him. We also got you got to have a contingency plan. Who do you replace him with? Because you got to come with something better. Because if not, the like we said, Cowboy fans, they're gonna kill you even more.
Mm-hmm.
So
They
you
got
got
the
to
fan
replace him with
base
somebody
too
better.
I
right now.
mean, but see, that's the thing though. Like you get okay. So if you go back to Tony Romo, the only reason why Tony Romo lost his job because then Dak came in.
Right.
But
So
Romo got
now
hurt.
And played better.
what happened? Yeah, but what happened? Okay, so now let's give Trey Lance a shot though.
Okay, but then you look at Trey Lance, you look at who did he lose his job to? Brock Purdy. So like once you find better, you roll with better, and then you clean house for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
You show him that this is your team, and the Niners have done that with Brock Purdy. Hey,
And then,
look,
like I
ain't
said, but
nobody here
every
competing with you. We got
right,
somebody who can do what you can do, but this is your team.
yeah.
We go pick
But
up
I would still give him a
who's the
shot though.
backup
For the
For
um
49ers,
Dallas,
for
Sam
the
Darnold.
Niners.
Sam
Sam
Cooper
Darnold.
Darnold.
Rush.
Yeah, we
I
got
thought.
Darnold. We got somebody who we
Oh, that's
believe can do
49ers.
what you can
Okay.
do, but he's not going to take your spot. Trey Lance was the only threat. We gave up a lot to get him here. He was really the only threat that anybody else was speaking of in the building. All right, cool. He got to go.
He did get hurt though.
Yeah, but if
I
you're,
mean,
but as your brother says a lot,
I
availability
mean,
is the best ability.
and so did Romo. Romo
Yep.
didn't lose his job because Dak was better. Romo lost his job because he was hurt, and then it was like, well, we look better with Dak, and that was a completely different Dak than they're showing now. But I'm going to take this back to the 49ers because
Yeah.
we ain't about to be the first take or undisputed and just make
Not
this
at
an
all. We're not
Alabama
getting
show.
on the Cowboys train.
Uh, the
Man, bro.
the the thing that pisses me off about the first loss to the Browns now is I think that's honestly what kind of started some of this narrative of if we get down, he he can't bring us back. He brought us back in that game. He had a bad game, almost the same exact weather situation. Right, raining, super hard to grip the ball. Obviously, he's not good in the rain. Okay, that's fine. He put us in position to win that game. We miss a field goal. We make that field goal. This whole narrative of Purdy can't bring us back isn't even a thing because he's already done it.
Mm-hmm.
So now we go in, and honestly, there was the Minnesota game. Now he did throw the interception that lost that game, but we were marching down the field then too from behind. However, again, you throw the interception, that's your fault, and that was his interception in that case. But then when he goes and does what people are saying he can't do, I go and I win a game from behind without Debo, and the biggest difference I've seen from the other games that he lost without Debo and this game was he was not forcing the ball to Ayuk. And them other three losses, he was literally staring down Ayuk the entire game. On that last drive, what was it? 5 receivers he hit,
Yeah.
all different receivers. Not one receiver caught 2 balls in that last drive. And
Yep.
then you run for 9 yards and pick up a crucial first down after that. And you would have connected with Kittle twice, but Kittle drops a ball on 2nd and 5. You still go out and connect to Conley, who I mean, I didn't even know the dude was on the
He
team.
just got there Friday.
Like, didn't know he was on the
He
team.
just got on the team Friday, and you put it
So
in a
it's like,
bucket to him.
what else? And there, the pass to Jennings in the middle was
Over a linebacker in front of a
masterful.
safety.
But you
I
telling me
tell
that
you,
this man
He's a man
there's
manager.
not 10 quarterbacks in the league that can make that pass in that situation. There's not 10.
And the thing that has been pissing me off this week the most, and it's only been a couple of days this week, so I've still got more of this because unfortunately, while I'm doing work, I have this stuff on my phone in the background or whatever. But then they start to bring up the Jimmy G comparison, and I'm like, nah, he ain't Jimmy. The records are similar, yes. The best deep ball that Jimmy threw was against the Saints to Emmanuel Sanders, and Emmanuel Sanders had to turn around
Stop.
and come back and get
Catch
that
it.
ball, catch, fall down, and then now, Purdy is throwing deep balls in a basket. I can take you to the Jags game, getting hit, throwing the thing to Kittle, who caught it in stride. Didn't have to stop. Like his deep balls are not. I got to come back and get these. Like he's throwing them down the field on point, and that's something that Jimmy. And that was the issue with our offense with Jimmy when we couldn't get the ball running, is that they knew Jimmy was going to do 10 yards. It wasn't nothing going to go over their heads. You can't tell me the offense doesn't look completely different with Purdy because Purdy can throw the ball downfield with some accuracy. So you've got to watch. So that way now you can go deep, and then you can throw slants to Debo and let Debo take it to the house. It is going to be a tougher game without Debo, but I do see that he is not fixated on just one receiver now. He is looking for the open man. He's not as reliant on timing because there was another pass that he threw to I want to say it was Kittle that was an incompletion that was a timing route. Kittle got bumped off, but he still threw the ball at the right time. It just Kittle actually is another drop that Kittle had. He had too many drops in the last game as well. Uh, But there's some of this stuff. I think we had 4 drops in that game. Like we're blaming some of this stuff on Purdy. That's not Purdy's fault. I said that same thing to a buddy in our group chat about the Ravens game. Like 3 of those interceptions are great plays by the defense. Like his read was right. They got tipped and they caught him. Like how many times does a tip pass not get caught? Hell, Green Bay dropped 2 easy interceptions in the last game. So sometimes it goes in your way, sometimes it don't, but it cannot be all of Purdy's fault. And I'm sick and tired of people saying, well, he's just handing the ball off to
That's
CMC or he's just throwing the ball to Debo. And I'm like, yo, he had 42,000 yards this season and he didn't play the last game. Like he's got to be throwing the ball to somebody else. Kittle had 1,000 yards. Ayuk had 1,300. Debo, although he missed 3 games, did not have 1,000 yards receiving. He had 1,000 all-purpose yards because he also runs the ball.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But he did not have 1,000 yards receiving. And also, any quarterback who has CMC is going to throw that man the ball out of the backfield. Like that, how you get mad at him for doing what every quarterback in the league would do? Like you can't be pissed off about that. Like he's going to hand the ball off. He's going to throw it to him as well. Like that is what he's supposed to do. Who wouldn't do that? So how are you going to knock somebody for doing something that literally every other team in the league would do?
And he's the best player. He's the best offensive player on the team. he should have 40 touches, damn near.
Had to be
Denver the
sure.
best offensive player in the league. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, like, I just
you're not
don't get it.
supposed to use him or say, man,
Like I said, I heard. I was just today. I was over it. That's why I was like, man, I'm gonna do my homework. I'm about to listen to what
You
everybody got to
know,
say about him. Like,
and the
this is
crazy,
crazy.
I noticed this that you know that the 49ers, man, you remember at the beginning of the season they had um, started off they were hot, and then I think right towards the middle, um, you
Oh, I can
know,
tell you, we were 5-0, and then we went 5-3. We lost 3 in a row.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like that situation to where people felt like I don't know, they're going up and down. And again, just because their game, wasn't the prettiest, it wasn't, a Dak Prescott to CD Lamb, you know what I'm saying? And so
yeah,
um, I think the 49ers, I think they got a great shot. I think this is probably one of their best shots. So I think Brock Purdy, he's doing his, and keep it that way. Shoot, keep saying that that. Well, I don't think I think he's doing a great job. I think they now. I wish that Debo. I don't know if I don't think Debo is playing this weekend, right? Is
He's
he out
50-50 right now.
50-50? So,
Yeah.
but I think, like I said, Kittle. I think the rest of them guys they'll step up, and they got too much firepower, man. They got a lot of offense, good defense. Joey Bosa, I like him, and just they got a good shot. I think that's probably one of their best shots.
I agree. I agree. And it's like every time Purdy don't have a perfect game, like
They find a
they
way.
start questioning him. And it's
Uh,
like, dude,
they find a way.
your favorite quarterback ain't playing as good as him.
He's
right.
had like
Sometimes
2 or
on
3
his
games
worst games.
with the perfect QBR, by the way.
Like, just leave this man alone. Like, is he an anomaly? Probably. But that Prescott was what, 4th round?
shit.
I think he was
I
drafted
don't
in the
know.
4th round. Like,
I think Dak is a 4th for him.
yeah. And then you look at even the top QBs. Patrick Mahomes wasn't top 5. You look at Lamar Jackson wasn't top 5. Like, a lot of these QBs come along later and they develop later.
Hmm.
Like,
The
it's not
best
always your
quarterback, almost the best player ever, was damn near 7th round too.
7th
yeah.
round.
Tom
You look
Brady.
at Brady, you look at I mean, you got your outliers, you got your Mannings, and you know what I
Let me
mean?
let me ask y'all a question though about the being the best quarterbacks in the league, and it won't be long. But don't you guys? I mean, now unless you're Patrick Mahomes, don't you feel like if you look at um, if you look at Tom Brady, and then what's old boy Love? What's his first name?
Jordan.
Jordan
The guy
Love.
Jordan.
Love. You had two of these quarterbacks that were on the bench at first, and they first at the beginning of their career, and and kind of followed the schemes and was watching these two quarterbacks, and then look where they are now, especially Brady. Do you think that a lot of these quarterbacks should do that, where if they get drafted, even if they are drafted maybe 6 or 7, you know, take a back seat, kind of get to know
Yeah, I mean it's
you know what I
showing that
mean?
it's working.
Yeah.
There's
Like
something to
I
Green,
was
that.
thinking about that the other day. It was just I feel like a lot of these quarterbacks. Even Aaron Rodgers. With Brett Favre, you know, wasn't a starter for the first couple 3 4 seasons, and then look at him now. So
I think Green Bay does have a formula, and it's been working.
yeah,
You know what I mean? When you got somebody there who know the position, who you not in a rush to push off,
yeah,
you draft the replacement early, you let him sit, you let him learn, and then you can continue this. You got to think they working on almost 30 years of just great QB play. Like it's gonna go on probably for another 10, like easily. If
hmm
Jordan Love, stays on this trajectory, but you
yeah.
get a
I
lot
think
of
he's gonna
guys
be a
that
good quarterback, man.
you look
He's
at
gonna be good.
Mahomes. He waited
Yeah,
a year. You look at Lamar. He had a year. Like, you know, sometimes these guys just need to sit and see how it's done. You
yeah.
know, to come in and be successful. You
I,
got your outliers though. You like I said, you have your Paytons, and even his first year was horrible. But then you get a
yeah.
CJ Stroud where you like, oh wow, this is just crazy. You know what I mean? But you
Well, we
get
just hope
guys and they
he
get to
don't. We
sit.
hope we don't. He don't have a sophomore slump though.
No, but
Man,
even if he does,
Oh,
like
bro.
it's still like okay, we still know what he's capable of. But then you get a guy like Murray who's pushed into the light who can't who doesn't produce. You know what I mean? But even if you look at what's the old boy in Denver?
Russell.
Russell. You know, late round pick, comes along, boom, does his thing. So like maybe sitting quarterbacks is the way to go. You know, unless
Well,
you just
Russell
really don't have
Russell
no
actually
choice.
Russell started as a rookie.
Well, well, I guess not sitting them, but late draft picks also. So just that
Yeah,
combination
I
of
see where you're
late
going.
draft
Yeah,
picks and sitting quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Like,
that was Matt Flynn's dream job that he got from his one
yeah,
game from Green Bay, and
he
they
got almost
paid
a
him all
hundred
that
million
money
or something crazy. He
to
got a
sit on the
stupid
bench.
amount of money. That year Aaron Rodgers was out and he played good, and they ended up Seahawks ended up grabbing him. Man, he got a gang of money to sign with them and bummed out. Like, so it's just in the NFL when it comes to QBs, man, it's like you said, David, it's up and down, man. It's a roller coaster. You never know when you're gonna hit or who's gonna be the guy and who ain't. You know, right now you
Yeah,
look at Carolina, they looking like they made the wrong pick.
yeah.
So, but who knows? All right, man, let's get off this, man. We've been talking about this forever. Let's talk about this championship game coming up, man.
Woo!
All right, so we got the Chiefs and Ravens on Sunday at 3, and then we got the Lions and Niners at 6:30. This is this
It's gonna
Chiefs
be a
Raven
shootout.
game.
It's gonna
This
be a
this is gonna
shootout.
be. You think so?
I feel like this game is gonna be just like that
It gotta
game.
be.
The Chiefs and the Bills.
Bills played.
The 2021 was it divisional? It was a divisional. The year
Mm-hmm.
Bengals went to the Super Bowl. I see something like that. I can see overtime.
Man.
I got the Chiefs winning. I got the
Okay.
Chiefs
Yeah, I feel
winning.
like if it's a shootout, it's definitely gonna
Yeah,
be. It's
guys,
definitely gonna be the Chiefs.
I just think experience. You know, this man's
Hmm.
been there 6 times. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, Lamar, they out there hooping, but and I know that defense is they gonna be hungry too. But I mean, when you got a man that's been there 6 times, I mean, that's you know, it's hard to beat. It's hard to gamble on that. Um, but I think it will be a close game, and I will say 34-31 Chiefs.
Mm.
Ike, what you think, man? You got a shout out to your man Justin on this, man. You got something you want to say to him? You
Oh,
say you was
you ain't
gonna address him every show until he got back.
you didn't see my name, Justin picked the Seahawks.
Oh,
Um, yeah. Well, in the Chiefs Ravens game, so my head picks the Chiefs. My stubbornness and the fact that I said Ravens Niners Super Bowl to start the season, and I'm really close to being right. I'm going to pick the Ravens, but also, I mean, if there's any team who can beat Mahomes, like the Ravens have literally almost put the brakes on every good team that they played this year. And I think I said this last week. Like they're by far the most battle tested team that's remaining in the playoffs.
I
So
can
if
agree.
there's a team whose defense could stifle Mahomes enough, and I mean the Chiefs have a good defense, but I don't think that their defense is good enough to stop the Ravens. You know, I can convince myself, my head, even though my head is saying the Chiefs, I can convince my head that the Ravens are a good pick. I'm picking the Ravens, mostly just because I want to be right.
Mm.
So I'm going to do that. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs won it all.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Jared, man? What you think?
I feel like this game can go either way. I feel like both defenses are playing well. Both offenses obviously have it rolling. I feel like both teams could play a shootout or a low scoring game, and I could see either one coming out on either side of either kind of game. So if I had to pick, I mean, I really just don't know. I'm kind of with Dave. Like you got the Ravens that look good right now. Like they're the glamour, they're glitz and glamour because like I said, they put the pause on pretty much everybody that mattered in the NFL this season. So you got the glitz and glamour, but then you got the 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 steady and constant. Like I don't know. But if I had to guess, give me 28-24 Chiefs.
Mhm.
28-24 Chiefs.
Yeah, man, I'm in the same boat with all y'all, man. It's like I kind of want to see Lamar win.
Of course.
Like
I'm gonna be
I
rooting
just feel
Ravens
that
all the time,
way.
for
You
sure.
know what I mean? But it's hard for me to bet against my homeboy. Like He's been there. Like I don't think there's anything the Ravens can do that he ain't seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like he done
Yeah.
battled with Tom Brady. He done battled with Burrow. He done battled with Allen. He done battled with he done been through it all. Like in this short tenure.
Deshaun Watson in that season that they were
Yeah.
going
Yep.
crazy.
Like he done battled back. He done been in every situation you can possibly put him in. And even this year, with this is probably the worst looking Chiefs team we
Chiefs.
done
Yeah.
seen, and he's
Hmm.
still in the
They
AFC
still.
Championship. So it's
Yeah.
like
They
Mm-hmm.
not supposed to be this far. I mean,
they everybody
Nah,
said it.
they
Like
not.
this wasn't the
But
year for the Chiefs.
like
I will say
and
this.
then I'm seeing also. Oh, my bad, I ain't mean to cut you off, but
No,
my
you
thing
good.
was I wanted to say this. I feel like they got a lot of they got a chip on their shoulder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've been talking about well, this is the first time they've played in the playoffs and it's not at Arrowhead and they can't win and the mistakes, the drop balls and and they know that Mahomes they watching that they hear that. So I think they got a lot they got something to prove. You know what I mean? And that's all a good team needs. Just give
Mm-hmm.
them something to say, okay, all right, I
Rally
got you.
around and fight
Right,
for. Yep.
yeah. Oh, we watch. Oh, we went to the Bills. We dropped a dime on there. We beat them. Now we about to go to the Ravens, and we gonna do the same thing. That's their mindset.
And let me throw
So
this in here real quick, man. The Bills got to stop trying to blame that kicker, bro. They lost that game when they didn't score a touchdown.
yeah,
Like you give Pat Mahomes a minute, damn near 2 minutes with two timeouts, bro. He's getting in field goal range. Like stop.
yeah,
So that game was over when they lined up for the kick, not when he missed it. Game was over when they failed to score a touchdown. It was a wrap.
yeah.
There is no way that
You
Pat
got
Mahomes
you
does
got to
not at
you got to
least
get
get into
points out of
field
that.
goal range.
The
And
Bills, the Bills are the
Harrison Butker
Bills.
is an excellent field goal kicker too. Bro, they're winning that game. Like there's
The,
no
Bi-
way that the Chiefs win that game even if he makes that kick. So they got
the
to chill.
Bills are the Bills, and they've been the Bills, and they're going to continue to be the Bills. And there's nothing I can see in the foreseeable future that's going to change them from being who we've seen them to be over the past 3 years.
They are who we thought they were.
Look at Josh Allen. Everything that man did to win the game, and he still ended up losing. Like Josh Allen, it's not a Josh Allen problem. We're not going to blame this on Josh Allen.
No, he's
Like
an amazing
I've been
quarterback.
hearing like back and forth. People want to blame the kicker. People want to blame Josh Allen. It's not Josh Allen's fault. I'm gonna say that, and I'm not even a fan of Josh Allen, but it wasn't his fault. The defense let him down,
Man,
as the defense often does.
He definitely should have hit Diggs across the middle
Did
on
what
that
about the
third
ball?
down.
Did drop? That went right through
Diggs
his
dropped a
arm.
Yep,
big ball too.
sure did.
So
Brody was wide open there though, bro. You got to go back.
Diggs play a part in this too. Like I said, like
Mm.
it's not on Josh Allen. Did everything that Josh Allen could do. Josh Allen also
Yeah.
hit a lot of the problems with the Bills also with his running game.
Hmm.
That offense is not good.
They're not that good, man.
They're not
I
that
mean,
good.
here's the
And if
thing.
you can contain Josh Allen from running,
Yeah,
putting the ball in the
I
air is
mean,
not the best thing that they do.
not to be biased or anything like that. I knew that the Bills weren't that good when the Bengals came in there and beat them in their home
Yeah, bro.
again in
Because
that
we were not
snow.
that good. People think we were just nah, bro.
No,
Bruh,
come on. They
every
every
time the
that
Bills go
year
every time
that
the
year
Bills
they
go
were
up
supposed to go
against
to
a
the Super
top
Bowl.
AFC team, they lose. Every
Yeah,
time.
but they can't beat the Chiefs,
They can't.
the Bengals.
They can't beat the Bengals. If you can't
They
beat
can't
them
beat the
two teams,
yeah, and the Ravens.
same thing. If you can't beat the top, you're there. You're a top five team on paper, but and to order to beat the man, you got to beat the man, and you ain't beat none of them.
Mhm.
So, but anyway, man, I'm in the same position. Like I said, I want the Ravens to win, but I think the Chiefs will win. So I'm picking the Chiefs,
Yeah.
but if the Ravens win, I'll be just as happy. Um, NFC, we got Lions, Niners.
Come on,
This
Niners.
By a lot.
Niners by a lot. I think, and I'm with y'all. I think the
Do
Lions.
I need to say anything here?
Yes, absolutely. But
No,
I
no.
Go ahead, I.
No, I don't have words. I would say, do I need to speak on who I'm picking? Honestly,
Nah,
no.
bro. We
Nah,
got
you don't need to, man. We
I
already
spent the,
know. We already know. I think it's gonna look. I think it's gonna be a good game. I mean, I like that coach,
when I was talking.
Lion, but put up a fight. I mean,
no,
I
I
feel
got
like the
respect.
first half.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
think the first half would be close, but I think in the second half it's a wrap. Yeah,
I
Hey,
guess
but
respect for Detroit. I do think that if Debo's out, It's gonna make it tougher on the
They're gonna
field.
put up a fight, Isaac.
But
I really
Yeah,
do think.
yeah,
Like I
no,
said,
100.
the
percent
first half it's gonna be close, but the second half, I think they'll. You know.
Yeah, y'all know what's crazy though? Their story is kind of like ours. Like when we went to the Super
yep.
Bowl a couple years back, hadn't won a
Hmm.
playoff game in 30 some years. Didn't think nobody thought we were going to go in the Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
Yeah,
No, but no, actually, I think a couple people might have picked them. I
but
would say the majority didn't. The majority didn't think that I didn't think we were going to
we
win
weren't
shit.
the favorites the whole
Yeah,
playoffs.
I didn't think we were going to win that shit. Like, so this could be fuck around and be a situation like that. But nah, I still got 49ers big.
Yeah, I'm picking the Niners. Uh, Outside of a complete meltdown by the Niners, Lions may pull it off, but I think the Niners is outside of the Lions Cinderella story, if you want to call it that. Like the Niners really got something to prove, and they've been showing that they have something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
I think after last year and everything that went on, they ain't having it this year. They're gonna try to put their foot on the throats of anybody who get in their way of a championship this year. So,
we got to get the
um,
golf though. We got to
yeah,
get the golf. We don't get the
that's
golf.
that part.
Good, bro.
Chase Young has been non-existent. I think him and Bosa they got to squeeze the pocket on golf because if you get golf shook, he's shown that he gonna and somebody got you got to lock up St. Brown. You gotta lock him. That dude is
Hmm.
ridiculous. You cannot let him get the
Well,
ball.
he'll have Ward on him. He's not gonna.
Yeah, yeah, and give and watch Gibbs the backfield. I think those are your two keys right there. Get the golf, stop Gibbs, and stop St. Brown. And Niners will be in a great position to win, which they're gonna. We already talked about their offense. We're pretty sure their offense is gonna execute. So,
Yeah.
but all right, man. I think that's it, man. We have some final thoughts.
Man, what the fuck is going on with Tristan Thompson?
Yeah,
Nigga,
I
how you
saw him
cheating and you
Sunday.
don't even
What
play?
he did?
Man, bro, defund this nigga.
Wow, bro, dang.
Defund Tristan Thompson.
Bro, get him out of here. That's
Yo, how you
ridiculous.
keep getting
Tristan
jobs in the
Thompson.
league, bro? Like that. How does
That's
anybody want
crazy,
their
bro.
side show
Like,
on their team?
I don't know, man.
you're wilding.
That's crazy.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah. David, any final thoughts, man? This is where we just kind of say whatever random stuff that's been on our
Oh,
mind.
I well, there's been some NBA trades. I love what the pace that Pascal Siakam trade.
Do you
Um,
not think it was too
Are you
much?
are you good with 3 first rounds for that though?
I'm not. As a
Mhm.
Pacer fan, I am not.
they trying to win, bro.
I
But you
still don't.
gotta, but you gotta sign him back.
That doesn't make my whole issue with it was if it's a trade that makes them better or the front runner, cool. Fuck them draft picks. But are they better than the Boston Celtics? No. Are they better than? Are they gonna beat the Buck? Would they beat the Bucks in the 7 game series? I don't think so. Would they beat Philly in the 7 game series? I'm not too sure. Would they even beat the Heat in the 7 game series? I'm not sure. Even with
Especially
Pascal
now
Siakam.
especially now with Terry Rozier now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's my whole issue with thing. And then of course people say, "Oh, you hating?" I'm not hating, but it's just like it didn't really move the
Does it
needle.
put you over the hump? Like,
And
does
I
that put
just
you in the
don't
upper
think
echelon of the Eastern
I don't
Conference?
think it did. I don't think
And
it
that's
did.
what I'm
I
saying. I
think
don't
they're
think it does either. I mean,
clearly still worse than 3 team. At best, fourth. Like that's my only
I don't
thing
put them
with it.
fourth. I say six.
I mean, that's why I was saying at best. Like there's clearly
Yeah,
3 teams for sure that's better than them. Could be 5 or 6.
I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know, man. I think that
Which one are they better? Do you think they're better than Celtics or
I think they might. I think they're just. I think they might be equal as for the
to the
Celtics.
Celtics?
Yeah, man. I mean, because
The
Pascal Siakam.
Pacers?
He's yes, man.
The
I do,
surprise.
Okay.
Bro, that's a wild take. But all right,
man.
we'll see. That's a wild
I
take.
mean, we
I mean,
we
travel
got the other
fail.
half of the season yet. Yeah, yeah.
Nah,
I
bro.
think that they've got to
They're not
play
even.
defense in order to do that.
That's that part.
They might get
Like,
one game
So you
against
you
the
get
Celtics.
rid of one of your best on ball defenders to bring in another scorer. You already the top scoring team in the league.
Yeah.
Now you bring in another 20-point scorer. First off, he probably not going to be averaging 20.
How
You
much
got
was
too many,
Bruce Brown averaging?
like 12, I think,
Yeah,
maybe.
bro. That's not
yeah,
enough
he
difference.
definitely was by far the best defender. And I mean, we
And
haven't
what you
seen
need in the playoffs,
we
you
haven't
need
seen the 7
somebody.
seconds West offense
exactly.
be great at all.
I
Like
mean, you
the way
need
they,
defense, but I don't think that the
You got to put
Boston
up points
Celtics.
too.
I don't think the Boston Celtics got. I mean, because they lost Smart, so I mean, I don't think they
Oh, have
are
you
better.
have you seen their roster, bro? They got Drew Holiday.
they did like
They
30
do
and
got Drew
13 last
So
Holiday.
year.
you so they traded off. They basically traded off Grant Williams and Marcus Smart for Kristaps Porzingis and Drew Holiday. Bro, come on, man. Boston is hard. They've lost one home game all year. Like
Yeah, I don't
they're
know. It's gonna be. It's
they're
like I said, the
nowhere near.
playoffs is different, but I mean, like I said, I
And I
need to
feel
see
like
something over this next couple
you're
months.
you're you're right on that, but I feel like that's even more in favor of Boston. I feel like they're going to be even better come a 7 game series, and I think the Pacers are probably going to max out. The Pacers is a great regular season team. They can beat anybody any night. Hell, they're only down by 2 against Denver right now, like right now live. But do I think that they stand a chance against Denver in a 7 game series? Come on, man.
People checking
Like,
out bets.
there's no way. And I think that's just the same thing for some of these Eastern Conference teams. Like the Pacers are definitely playing well above what they're
Expectation.
expected to do. But like you said, the regular season is a faster game. The when it comes to the postseason, everything slows down. There's just
Right.
no way that we're gonna get this same Pacers output in the playoffs. And
I say if you look
I
at
said it
the,
again, I've been wrong before. I could be wrong now, and I'm gonna be wrong some more in the future. But I just don't see it.
I think if you look at the bubble, not the bubble, the in season tournament, and you see how like the Lakers slowed things down with them,
Yeah.
and the Pacers in the half quarter just they're running gun, bro. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, and maybe Siakam can help them with that. You know what I mean? But like at some point, you got to stop people. I don't know. Like I said, I'm a fan. I don't agree with the trade. I never agree. 3 first round picks. That's like getting a Durant
AD or some
or
shit.
yeah, like
Well,
that's that in that realm
back in the day,
of
not this time.
player. But I mean, hopefully it pays off, and hopefully you can pay him because
Hmm.
if not, you just renting him for a couple months. If he just decides he wants to test the free agent market,
If he's on the team now, they can pay him. Now, does he want to come back? Is the
that's what
question.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like if he
Yeah,
make a decision like not to stay, now you just gave up 3 first round picks for a rental.
tough.
And if
Yeah,
you don't make it to the
I don't
Eastern
think.
Conference Finals or something like that, then
Yeah,
now you just wasted.
I don't think it pushed the needle far enough for all that. But
Yeah.
you're the first Pacers fan that's actually like been realistic with it. All the other ones I come past is, oh yeah, man, this is it. Like, all right. I mean,
You give up
yeah,
two players and three
Wishful
picks.
thinking, bro.
Just him. I don't see him as that dude.
nah, because that championship was Kawhi. Like, let's not kid anybody.
Yeah.
So it's not like, I mean, I know he's a champion, but he wasn't the guy on that team. That was definitely Kawhi's team.
Now if
So
we'd have got OG and him, I'd been like, okay, cool.
oh yeah, that
Cool.
would be
Cool.
nice.
We got two potential. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, yeah, I
Just for
feel that.
one? No. Pacers got duped.
Damn.
I'm being straight up.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But all right, man. That it? Anybody else? Any more final thoughts? Anybody? You.
Well, we'll just keep watching the trade deadline. I mean, because I
Yeah,
think
man. Something else might happen.
Bruce Brown, I think the Lakers and who is it? Lakers and Knicks trying to get him. So,
Like I said, he's a
uh,
good defender, and these teams need defense.
yeah,
Both teams, both of
And
them teams definitely need defense. Lakers
Lakers can get
definitely need an on-ball
anybody, but
defender.
they need niggas.
They need
Like, I
everything.
don't care what position. I don't care. They need motherfuckers on the team. Like, them niggas. I'm gonna just go ahead and shut up now because I'd have y'all on here another half hour, 45 minutes. So I'm
Yeah.
just going. We'll say that for another episode.
All right.
save for another.
All right, y'all. Well, this has been the Epic Podcast, man. We see y'all again next week, man.
Yes,
Deserves.
sir.